dark place. And how are you feeling today?
Mr. March, you shouldn't say so.
Is Mrs. Winchester in? Or have the ghosts taken to play the piano?
Begging your pardon, sir, but you shouldn't speak so lightly of them. Such things. I've seen strange things in this house, sir, and be they ghosts or not, I won't just about it.
My dear, I apologize. You are right. And I'll tell you this, you are a rarer soul than me for living here. But mind your place too, Miss Iris. I would not willingly watch you lose your position. You know how she is about such talk.
Well, be that as it may, that's the Mrs. Plain. If you'd be so kind to escort yourself to the room.
I confess, I always did get lost in this house.
Well, do you know where this Y-shaped stairwell is?
Yes, I think I could find that.
From there, you must go up to go up to go up to go up to go down to go down to go down to go down to go up to go down to go down to go down. Did you get that, sir?
No.
Very well. Follow me. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, Mr. March, but she hasn't been in the right state of mind lately, sir. Let's just say her spirits are lower.
A good pun, my dear. Unfortunately, I'm confident that my visit will not raise your disposition. Mrs. Winchester, lovely to see you again. I hope you are well.
I have been, thank you, Edward. Are you here to tell me that I am becoming bankrupt once again? Iris, go fetch my niece. Yes, miss.
You are not bankrupt, Mrs. Winchester. You are simply spending more than you are earning. Our records show that upon your husband's death, you are left with an inheritance of an immense sum, with earnings of $1,000 a day. As of late, you've been spending thrice that amount, and some of your creditors are worried.
Edward, as you said, my inheritance, however ill-earned, is substantial.
Ill-earned, Mrs. Winchester?
Earned in the blood of the innocents. But enough of that. Simply refer your clients to my niece. As I have informed you before, she is in charge of the books, not me. And according to her, I seem to be doing quite fine.
I'm sorry, but Miss Marion cannot be found at this moment.
This is the 4th visit this month, and I feel it is wasting our time. If I had not spoken to Miss Marion myself, I would say she only existed in your mind. The neighbors say sometimes you play all night. I've heard you as well. It is strange but beautiful. Is it Mozart?
Mr. March, I think your time here has been long overdue. You are no longer welcome. I will have my niece contact you shortly. Good day, sir.
Day and night you play that thing. This is becoming an obsession.
Music soothes them.
Who?
The spirits.
Spirits? 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 All you ever think about are these spirits. Don't you realize they don't even exist?
Of course they do. Ghosts exist, and they will probably come after you too now that they know you don't believe.
Sarah, please.
No, you will see. Bad things will start to happen to you, and you will fear. You will feel the taint of paranoia surging through your body, just as it does mine every minute of every day. You shall see.
I'm sorry, dear, but I do believe that she needs some rest.
Nonsense. For 15 years I've
For
built this
15
house.
years now, you have built this house, and for what? Nothing. Think about your health, Aunt Sarah. All this work can't be good for you. You're going to work yourself to your grave.
Nonsense, Marion. I'm as healthy as a horse. Besides, as long as I continue to build, I will stay alive. You, of all people, should know how it works by now.
Everyone knows how it works, Aunt Sarah. Your maids and staff can't keep their mouths shut about something for more than 2 minutes. You yourself seem to take a childish pleasure in making everyone think you are crazy.
You will not speak to me so, Marion. I took you in. I trust you with the books, my affairs, everything. And now you speak to me this way?
Sorry, Aunt Sarah. It was wrong of me to say such a thing. I will watch my tongue.
It's quite all right, dear. You know how excited I can get. Now, on to business. The bank teller came by again today. Your bookkeeping was always good until now. I don't understand why he insists on speaking speaking with me personally all the time. No matter. I need to update the books anyways. Meanwhile, I will go have a visit with the foreman. I need to deliver today's plans.
How's the report?
No, that's not necessary, dear. I have a few things to speak with him about anyways. Besides, I just gave you plenty to do.
I know. Hey, you need your rest. I know as well as you what needs to be talked about with the workers. You will relax, just like everything to me, dear.
Very well, if you insist. But it is of the utmost importance that Mr. Henson gets these plans.
Don't
right
worry
away.
so much. You know you can depend on me. I've yet to fail you, dear sweetheart.
Of course not. Thank you, Marion.
Now, go and relax. You can even play that piano you're so fond of if it suits your fancy. He'll take care of everything in your stead. Don't worry about a thing.
Marion! 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 There you are! We've been looking for you all over this bleak house. It is so terribly big. Never find anyone around this place. But enough of that. May we have a word with you?
Yes, of course. I've been wanting to speak to you also. I believe I have something that will interest you.
Well, first we want to know what's being done to stop the building around here. There's just too much going on, and it's becoming more difficult day by day to stop. This place is a madhouse. I simply must get out. I've been here for so long, serving Sarah for what seems like an eternity.
I know. I've been with her for so long. It's become simply insane out there. All this work. What does the missus have the workers doing now? It looks like they're all running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
I do quite agree. Everyone seems to be on their toes lately. Even Sarah seems to be more on edge than usual, if that's possible. I mean, we all have known her for quite some time, and you know very well what she was like. Something going on?
Well, ever since I came to live here, I've been trying to get her to stop the building. She has all of us in prison here, and that's not fair. Lately, Edward March keeps coming around and asking about the money, and he could ruin all of my plans. Our plans. I feel as if I've tried everything to stop her. But I do have a
But you haven't yet! When you did come here, we asked for your help to stop it, but it hasn't ceased yet. This house, it feels as if it is a mousetrap, and we are trying to find a cheese that is not really there. In order for us to be free, we must stop the building, and you know that. We can help, but there's only so much that we can do. So if you fail us, there will be consequences.
Yes, of course. I know that. But it's harder than it looks. She's been a stubborn old bat ever since we were young. I'm so angry with her because she won't stop the building. She has all of us imprisoned here. She never stops playing that damn piano. It's always the same songs over and over. I wish I could just get rid of it. But she insists that it soothes the spirits. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you people about something. I have a plan.
Well, whatever it is, we will do what it must be soon. But we simply must get out of this house, or I'll be driven as insane as Sarah. This feeling of confinement is horrible. You must help us all, Marion, with just such as
I hate it. I hate this feeling this house gives me and everything about it. I do not want to be here any longer, but we cannot get out unless the building stops because of our bond to Sarah.
Yes, and I quite agree. I realize that, and I am just as sick of it as you are. But if you'll just let me
And
tell
your
her.
plan had better be good, because if it's not, you do not want us as enemies. Sarah's building must cease.
Silence! All of you! My dear Aunt Sarah has just faithfully entrusted the plans that she has drawn out for Mr. Hanson. But, if she were never to receive them, then that will set her back. And with any luck, she will fire him, and that will set her back even more.
Why, Marion, that is quite brilliant on your part. However, did you get those plans from her? Did she just give them to you?
What can I say? I'm a trusted soul. Small pieces like you, sure, Lady Winchester. My dearest aunts.
Tony, hand me those nails, will you?
Get your own nails, you bum.
Hey, how long have you been working here?
I don't know, maybe an hour?
No, you long have been working in this house. For short Lady Winchester?
You better never let her hear you say that. I don't know. Long time now. 15 years for me.
What are you still doing here, eh? I mean, we do nothing. You build staircases to nowhere, windows with 13 panes in them, rooms surrounding rooms and doors open to brick walls. And just when you think we're done, we tear them down and start over on it.
Well, what are you complaining about, Peach Fuzz? I've been working here a lot longer than you have. it wasn't for this work, you and your mom would have starved years ago. So stop your belly aching and help me finish this.
I know, it's just, you know.
I know. Well, we do what the missus wants. What the missus wants is this house built. Well, know how long it takes, how random it may be.
Say, Tony,
What is it now, Chowhead?
we just put this here building upside down.
Robbie, you're an idiot. Hanson's gonna kill us for sure. And Winchester's gonna skin us alive.
I didn't mean to, Tony. What are you gonna do?
Let me think about this, will you? Okay. 13 bathrooms, 2 steps. That's spider web pattern everywhere. You know about it? From all that way. No one's gonna notice anyway.
You're pretty smart, Tony.
From big brothers before. No one's gonna visit this place anyway.
Hey, what are you doing over there?
Well, you met the new kid, Jimmy?
The new apprentice? Seems like a nice kid. A little wet behind the ears.
Who's about to get a lot more wet once I get that bucket. See, Rubau's been telling the ghost story since he got here, and he's primed ready to meet his first ghost.
Man, I remember my first day, the little look you guys gave me.
You wet no bridges.
Hey, I did not. Hey, you know Jimmy's Hanson's...
Hey guys! I've been looking everywhere for you. Look at this.
Wow, she really...
Yeah, she gave it to me last night after dinner.
That's amazing. She's so... Wow.
Yeah, she said she wanted to give me something to remember her by.
Is she really...
Yeah, she is.
All right, ladies, break it up. Well. What do we have here? Hey, Rhubarb, isn't this that new maid, what's her name?
Marie, boss.
Fine looking ankle she's got.
Let me see.
Oh, no. Hey, you guys all know Jimmy, the new kid? Show him around, make sure he doesn't get lost. Oh, word.
Yeah, boss?
I'm counting on you to show Jimmy around. You know, show him a place. Keep him out of trouble. I know you guys have cooked up something special to welcome him, but, don't be too rough on him.
Boss, you can count on me. Little prank never hurt nobody. Just the old paint bucket over the door gang.
Yeah, complete with ghost stories, I bet.
Boss, I'm hurt.
All right. But you sorry bunch better get the job done. The mistress doesn't take kindly.
Gotcha. Okay. Now this...
Hey, boss, what are we going to do today?
I'm not quite sure. Usually the mistress gives me the plans personally, so, I don't know. Just finish what you haven't done.
The missus never forgets stuff like that. Weird if you ask me. Well, who cares what I have to say? I just do what her crazy little head wants me to do.
You're right. This is unusual for her. Well, more unusual than normal.
Yeah, right. Like that's what happened in 10 years of me working here. Something's up, boss. I'm sure of it.
She always obsesses over those plans. You know, she's...
And this, of course, is the east wing where your day begins. Now, your first job is to give me my tools on the other end of that red door right over there. Right.
Hey, boss, there's nothing in here.
Keep looking.
Still nothing in here.
Hey, guys! Let me out of here, guys! This isn't funny!
Jimmy, move!
Please tell me that was supposed to happen.
This was a joke. It wasn't funny. I'm getting out.
Mrs. Winchester, may I have a word with you?
Absolutely. I am outraged by the lack of work being accomplished around in this house. Do you understand how important it is to have the building continuous?
Yes, ma'am. I've been with you for quite some time now, and I know full well
Mr.
that...
Hanson, I make my orders very simple. And it greatly upsets me that you have disregarded the authority of my niece.
Your niece? You mean Miss Marion?
Yes, I gave her orders to deliver the new plans directly to you. And I trust that she has done so.
I haven't seen your niece in days, Mrs. Winchester. No one has. As for the latest plans, I have yet to see any trace of them.
Haven't seen her? Marion is always out and about. If she does not find you, I suggest that you find her. I do not pay you all to sit around. You are here to get work done. If building is not started soon, I assure you, there will be consequences. Lucky for you, John, there are other projects currently going on.
Mrs. Winchester, I think there's something you need to know about. There was a recent commotion involving your newest worker.
Are you referring to the new boy? Jimmy, is it? I hired him on your recommendation, John, despite my reservations about having
Yes, I know, and I appreciate your generosity. However, During construction in one of the rooms in the East Hall, out of nowhere, a pillar fell and a door slammed shut, trapping Jimmy inside. Ma'am, I assure you, in all the years of me working here, I've never seen the workers this scared. They seem to believe the whole East Wing is spooked.
Spooked? If you do not proceed to build those new plans, your whole world could crumble around you.
Now, I don't see that happening anytime soon. The foundation is much too solid. I oversaw the construction myself.
You are a brave man to argue with me, John Hanson. A fool, but an honest fool. Your workers will have to work exceedingly hard to make up for the lost time. I suggest you get to work building the new shed.
But the sketches.
Get your workers back to doing what I paid them to do. And proceed to look for those new plans and my niece. Is that understood?
Ma'am, it's a big house. She could be anywhere.
John! I will not lightly tolerate your insolence much longer.
As your request, Mr. Winchester.
Wicked old dad. I can't believe this is happening again. Hasn't she had enough?
Well, Mistress, that's what Mistress wants. No need to bicker about it, especially in such
Mr. Winchester.
Wicked old dad. I can't believe this is happening again. Hasn't she had enough?
Well, Mistress, that's what Mistress wants. No need to bicker about it, especially in such a loud voice.
No, another seance? Bad enough. This house is foolish lies and nervous around it.
Well, she had more to do, sir. I know it's a silly thing, but I can't help finding excitement in all of it.
Exciting. If you call having little witching parties and scare yourself from saying exciting, then by all means, maybe you should start your own little seance. Mistress is want you to join in on all the fun.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's somewhat exciting and different. I mean, don't you wonder sometimes when the entire house is so crazy? I really want to know if there is something that goes on at the seances.
Well, maybe you'll be the lucky one of Mistress has to join her. And then, not only will we have a crazy mistress, but we'll also have a crazy maid.
Oh, shut up. Why can't you any fun? You sound like that straight-laced niece of hers.
Straight laced. I'm starting to think she's the only sane one around.
Say maybe, but for such a young woman, she has no sense of liberation like most young kids her age. Besides, what else is there to do in this house?
Speaking of you, Mistress, probably she has left.
Left? What do you mean by left?
Well, no one has seen her around for quite some time. Rumor has it, she got fed up and left.
Fed up with what? Being rich?
You see, she is the only sane one. She actually managed to get out of the mistress's insanity. God knows I tried to leave when she starts her wild antics.
Well, why don't you leave?
Take your pardon?
If you've had it with everything the mistress has done, then why haven't you left? Find it rather odd that a person with such hatred towards things in this house should stay for so long.
Well, maybe it hasn't occurred to some people that we all need to make a living, and this is a good way to do it. For me,
I don't think it's wise to be speaking of such things during our duty.
I agree. Well, we should just finish up. Don't need to make the mistress angry.
Well, the mistress won't be around for a while. Tell me why the young mistress have anything to speak about the league. Well,
Has anyone ever told you you have too much curiosity?
Curiosity that you killed in this house.
what do you mean? Too much curiosity?
Well, with all the unexplained things that go on around here, it's not such a good thing to be too curious.
Now, don't you tell me those stupid lies?
Oh, don't be foolish enough not to believe Elizabeth. You know what I'm talking about. This place is haunted. You know the reasons we can't step in the Daisy room, or why we must always be quiet in the hallway outside of it. You know the reasons that from the moment we step out of the front gate to the sudden squeaking door in the hallway, we all know that there's an odd presence in this house.
You know, I think I know how you came about this house. You weren't some young widow who needed a place to live. You came here to be insane with our mistress. I'm telling you, if the young miss is gone, it's the old missus that has something to hide.
So you refuse to believe any of this is true? You mean to tell me you have never experienced anything unusual at all?
Of course not. Do you expect me to be crazy too? I can't believe the two of you are falling into this madness. I've been here twice as long as both of you, and I've yet to fall into the trap of stupid lies and the seances and the noises and those ridiculous ghost lights.
Well, the birthday party started already.
No, ma'am, we're almost done.
Very well. Call me as soon as everything is set.
Well, I, for one, do not believe the Mrs. we've had up in this thought is absolutely absurd, and you should be ashamed for even thinking so.
Well, we're not saying that she knows anything, but the Miss has been missing for quite some time, and Mrs. Winchester
in the basement. Is that understood?
Yes, ma'am, right away.
Good. I will be in the parlor if anyone needs me.
Marie, what happened? I just saw Elizabeth in the hall. She looked like she drunk curdled milk.
The missus just after for talking back. Yes, the poor girl. It's the streets of the poorhouse for her. And with a little one to think about.
She should have thought about that before talking back. You all know what the business is like.
Yes, the old witch. You pleaded hypocrite. I was such
Hang on there, Wildcat. Save that energy for tonight.
Sorry, Tony, but tonight's got to wait. The missus just put us on extra chores. And me to the basement after that. Blimey, I don't want to go down there after it's dark. If this place is the creeps enough as it is. And it's like there's something even darker living down there. If this place is a black heart, that's what it leads. Well, you should have thought that before kissing her head. Get off with you. Whore. She's a hypocrite, but I hate her. I wouldn't go down to that basement after midnight for all the tea in China. Well, there's some on the scrubs and one of the quick place to sit.
Well, Miss Marie's looking awfully pretty.
She's not going to take an interest in you yet, you brute.
Oh, really? And how did you come to this conclusion?
She told me so.
Uh-huh. Is that so?
Yeah, she even admitted to being madly in love with me. But like with most women, I'm going to have to break it off and let it down easy.
Oh, I bet you were just devastated.
Yeah, I hate breaking poor little girls' hearts like
Hey! Hey! Bobby! Tony! You won't believe what just
Whoa,
happened!
hold on there, man. Would you get on with it?
Right. Well, I left my tools in the East Hall. And when I went back to get them, they were gone. So I went looking for them. And I spotted them outside the Daisy room. And as I got closer, the hairs on the back of my neck started to stand up. And as I got closer, I'd heard a bang inside the room. And then...
And then what, boy? You see a ghost? Or you don't have an infection in your glass?
I swear on my mama's grave. I heard a woman screaming bloody murder.
So, what do you do then?
I did what any respectable man would do. I grabbed my tools and I got the heck out of it.
Was Jimmy scared, was he?
I was not. I just thought it was important to tell someone quick, that's all. I thought I should tell someone.
Hey, is the Daisy room the one that Mrs. Winchester had us build around a few days
Jimmy,
back?
you're an idiot. What did I tell you about going near that room? What is it with you anyhow? You are always sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. Your dad's gonna kill me for sure.
I told this house would get in your head sooner or later.
The only thing getting in your head is what's getting in your bed. Nothing. So let's get back to work. The both of us.
Thank you for joining me for tea this afternoon. Please make me comfortable while I am full.
Mrs. Winchester, your home is the talk of the state, even though I dare say the nation. Please tell us your current plans for this lovely home.
Oh, yes, and I absolutely do love the gardens, Mrs. Winchester. Are your flowers imported?
Well, to tell you the truth, Mary Granite, I make up new plants each morning. As for the gardens, Mrs. Granite, they are imported and cared for by my staff.
I hate to interrupt, but
Oh, that's quite all right, John. Mayor Granite, I don't believe you've met my foreman, Mr. John Hanson, Mayor Granite, and his lovely wife, Mrs. Granite. And of course, you know my medium, Anisha Wick, and Mr. Samuel Jacobson, and his lovely fiancée, Samantha Bowling.
Oh, Mr. Henson, this is a lovely home your crew is building. We seldom get such craftsmanship as far less. But it seems our generous hostess has snapped all the good ones up.
Really, Miss Winchester, we must talk about the outrageous salaries you pay your staff and workmen. My workers grumble every day about the unfairness of it all.
Then perhaps we should pay them more, my dear.
Mrs. Winchester, I really...
Yes, John has done a wonderful job. Mayor Hanson has taken quite an interest in our work here, and has come to discuss it with me.
Mrs. Winchester, I know it is extremely rude, but it's quite urgent to speak. It's about the plans from this morning.
Very well. Is that important? Please excuse me, I shall only be a moment. Enjoy the tea and gardens.
Amelia, come now, this is not
depressing news, but I shall not let it spoil our tea. Farewell, Warworthy.
I was just commenting that I would like to attend a seance, if I'm not being too presumptuous.
Not at all, my dear. You are very welcome any time. In fact, all of you are welcome. We start promptly at midnight. Just listen for the bells.
Oh, Aunt, I do wish you'd stop playing that record. That piano would drive even the sanest woman crazy.
Marion, are you suggesting I'm not sane? Of course not. But the townspeople are talking. You don't seem to realize what others are saying about you and this house.
You never did learn to play, did you, Marion? What a shame. I'm sure music's lost was something's gain. What is it you do here again anyway, my dear?
Aunt Sarah, after all I have given up to be with you here in this God-forsaken place, how can you speak to me so?
Well, it seems you have a knack for being invisible. All week people have been telling me that they cannot find you. So, naturally, one comes to suspect that one is being taken advantage of. Shall I assume you've been found? I shall tell the staff to call...
You have your staff serving you and working on this house day in and day out. You don't even get holidays off. You'd think they would tire of your nonsense. What did you do? Put them under a spell, or has this house driven them as mad as you?
You will not speak to me so, Marion. You may be my favorite niece, but you will not bicker with me. I have a request that should redeem your recent lack of judgment.
Can you stop playing that infernal instrument for 1 minute? It seems as if you just tune out my wishes and expect me to fulfill your needs.
Now you shouldn't make such awful faces, darling. If I choose not to listen, that is certainly within my rights. I am mistress here, not you. There is a difference between what you wish and what you need. I do believe you often get those two mixed up.
You're crazy. What self-respecting lady creates this hideous and distasteful place to live? Look at this. Can you open your eyes long enough to look around for a moment? Your head is so full of insane thoughts about your ghost that you have made yourself believe are real. You'd be surprised if you drove yourself to your grave over this.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? You think it was a whim to let Mr. March start handling my affairs? I'm wise to you, niece. He tells me the money is disappearing, and now I see where it goes. See what your insolence has caused me to do? We mustn't get excited and be nasty, dear niece.
Aunt, I'm sorry I spoke so. But there's a thin line between sanity and madness, Sarah. Why unclasp the tables of their thoughts?
These same thoughts people this little world. You do understand a little, don't you? Of course, you don't see what I see. Your mind has been closed too long to understand the depth of this issue. The dreams alone I have would certainly send you to shock and insanity. I think what is much needed is for you to join me in a seance. That might better help your understanding of my purposes here.
Are you seriously suggesting I attend your next seance?
That is exactly what I propose you do. And you will do it.
Have you ever attended a seance before, Mrs. Granite?
Oh, yes. My sister had one a few weeks ago. It was quite exhilarating.
Did you contact anyone?
No, unfortunately, there was no one to contact that night. My husband's not believing, He thinks it's absolutely preposterous for seances.
Then why did he let you go that night?
I told him I was covered with their children. Luckily, my sister's husband was away on business, so they excused me plain enough.
That's terrible, Mrs. Granite. What if he were to find out? He'd be outraged.
Oh, he never would. He's as dense as an oak tree.
That's terrible, Mrs. Granite.
Oh, I'm only joking. I love that bullheaded bear as much as he does get on my nerves. You know, he was so outraged by the thought of coming tonight. I would think anyone would be honored to be invited to a seance.
Why did he come then?
When I told him the seance that I should be inside the house, he grabbed his coat, and the next thing I know, we're riding down Main Street, and he's lecturing me on how honored I should be to go to the seance.
Mayor Granite, I'm very surprised to see you here. I see you seem very avidly opposed to the idea of seances.
That's true. I do find seances distasteful.
Distasteful? How so?
Let's just say that the dealings with the spirits and the supernatural are beyond my understanding. There are some things that should remain separated from the now and the afterlife.
But what if knowledge of the afterlife can help with insight out to the future?
Like what, for instance?
Like an upcoming election mayhap?
Ridiculous. How dare you
Mayor Granite,
imply?
I am sorry. I was only trying
man would be insane not to accept an invitation for a chance to see inside this rumored house.
Be careful of that glass, Iris. It's a Timothy glass from New York. Be careful? I know to be careful, Annabelle. I know to be careful about everything in this house. Everything must be kept so clean and so safe. I swear to God, one of these days, I'd like to take this glass and break it into tiny bits.
Oh, you're crazy, you know that?
I know I'm crazy. I just get so caught up in all the talk of ghosts and spirits and such. And Sarah watching our every move. It's like we're barricaded in here with nowhere out except to do whatever she tells us.
Well, I don't know what you mean.
I just wish it'd be less like a circus, more like a circus and less like a zoo. I feel less part of the show and more of a prisoner.
Well, I still don't quite understand what you mean, but I know that we came here to work, and work is what we'll do. I refuse to fall into any pattern that will lead me to getting fired.
You see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. With all the talk of
And
spirits.
that conversation will cease immediately. How dare you chit-chat while there is work to be done?
Sorry, miss.
No, there is no time for excuses. Light an end to handles. Mr. Jacobson, it's lovely to see you here.
It's very lovely.
You are dismissed. Here's your regular evening duties.
Please join us in a circle and hold your hands above the table. You see before you a glass of crystal and a letter written in the spirit's order. Does everyone see these two objects? Before we begin, are there any questions?
Miss Wick, how is a crystal and some candles supposed to convince me that there are spirits in this house?
This is how they communicate with us, and we will only need them if they do not deem me fit as a capable medium.
Has that ever happened before?
Of course not, it's only a precaution.
I don't understand. If we could be using a crystal and some candles, then why are you here?
She is here because I invited her. There are limits to what one can understand from candles and this candle. Yes, I do believe there are spirits in this house. And yes, I have contacted them by the means you see before you. But as time has gone by, I have grown weary of not receiving all the answers to the questions that I seek.
Sarah seeks questions of her past life. She is plagued by questions of what once happened to her long ago.
Yes, it was a long time ago, and it's still quite difficult to discuss. But through these seances, I have attempted to acquire better knowledge of what happened to my husband and my child before I moved here.
Did not your husband and child die, and that's why you moved far out west? What? That is why, isn't it?
Yes. And because of something my husband said to me just before passing.
He told you to build a house that is never finished. You told us that once before, Mrs. Winchester.
Yes, I do believe I have.
But why? Why would he make such an outrageous demand of you?
Yes, why would he drive you mad with all of this? 13 daisies and 13 carvings and 13 petals? Why would he demand this of you?
Well, that is what you want to find out, isn't it? Why he asked you to keep building?
Yes, precisely, Mayor Granite. You may not believe in seances, dear friend, but you are very wise.
Perhaps you wanted to keep your mind busy so that you would not mourn his death.
Or perhaps you wanted to keep your mind open in the prospect of a suitor.
Or maybe you wanted to sit back and have a fun time and watch what silly trickeries you come up with house next.
Silence! You do not understand how important this is. So much of my life has been put into the building of this house. Maybe tonight you will better understand what has happened to me. Will you recite the spirit incantation now, Miss Wick?
Of course, Mrs. Winchester. I pray that all of your minds be settled. I ask that we join hands and concentrate with me. It is vital that none of you think of anything other than Sarah. Only she and I will do the questioning once the spirits arrive. Come now and focus. Close your eyes and clear all thoughts. Open your mind's eye. Do not fear of what may come tonight. With the land we all go, once near cross, nor golden blood, and friends remember to unite, and those who hate forget their spite, and those drown the shed of weed. We call you now to bless our meeting. Heaven's promised our spirits die, so now for the living, for the dead come alive.
Why then class the tables of them gods? Ye same gods people this little world.
thou shouldst. The spirit wishes to remain hidden. Come out, spirit. Tell us, what are you called? I see, the spirit is weak. It is in the shadow.
Of course it is in the shadows. Who could possibly be living on this little circle of candle flame?
Hold your tongue, sir, or you will ruin everything.
Child, do not afraid. There is no one who wishes to cause you harm. Come out and join us.
I don't understand why a spirit would come to a seance and not willingly participate.
Most want to help, my dear, but others are afraid to.
Whatever are they afraid of?
They are afraid to help those who are still living, because they remain prey to any evil spirit who may not want to help them.
I see.
It's a terrible position to be in. Now focus, and maybe we can help this spirit find its way to the light to help us injustice.
Spirit, we call you now in our time of need. Please help. She will not come out, Mrs. Winchester. She says that there are other evils in the life too, and that she does not trust these evils.
Will she not help us from where she stands?
She says she cannot. She says the only way to answer your questions is to show you what you already know.
We have our objects on the table. Why is she not using them?
It takes too much time, and it should not be run around soon. The other spirits will find out where she is and who she has helped.
Then what does she propose we do? Send her away, get another spirit who is better prepared to help us.
She says no one will help. It is only she that has the answers, and it is forbidden.
Show me what I've come to find.
She asks that we sit in darkness. Blow out the candles, all of you. It is important that we keep holding hands. No matter what happens, keep your hands tightly in one another's grasps, and do not let go. We will sit and wait until she shows us what Sarah has come to see.
Sarah! 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 It's time you should rest. I'll care for Anne. Sarah, what's the matter? You should rest. I'll care for Anne. What's wrong? Annie, Daddy's here now. Daddy's. Sarah, why isn't she crying? Why isn't Annie crying, Sarah? Sarah, what's happened, Sarah? What have you done?
Me? I did nothing, William. I was only singing her to sleep. And then she stopped. She just stopped.
I don't believe you. How could you to our little Annie?
Stop it, William. You know I wouldn't. You know I couldn't. I loved Annie just as much as you did. How could I harm our little baby?
Call the doctor. Tell him to come immediately.
Beg your pardon, sir, but Miss Mary has already gone for a doctor. Oh, the precious blood.
Out, I say. Do as I say now. Go.
William, you must believe me. I did not do this.
Stop this. How could you? I knew you wanted her dead. I knew it all along.
William, how could you say that? I love you and I love her.
I knew about the abortion, Sarah. I knew how you wanted our child dead. I knew how you poisoned her so she wouldn't be born. But you didn't work. You had to find another way of disposing of her.
William, you must believe me. I did not do this. Yes. I had things more. I wanted rid of her so bad at the beginning that I couldn't take it anymore. I was afraid, and you cast me aside like a piece of bruised fruit. I needed you, William, and you left me.
But I came back, and I'm here now. Why can't that be enough for you?
3 months, William. You were gone for 3 months. And where were you? On a business trip? I visited your offices. They said you had taken off to a vacation. That you needed some time for yourself.
weren't alone, weren't you, William? Go on, William. Hit me again. You know I didn't hurt Annie. I wanted to kill her from the beginning because you had killed me when you left. But when the abortion failed, I realized how alone I would have been had she died. We depended on one another. You could never harm that child again. Then you came back. I knew you wouldn't leave again, but it wasn't until I saw Annie in your arms that I was truly convinced. The smile on your face and the tears in your eyes. I knew you wouldn't leave me anymore. I knew you wouldn't leave us anymore. William, I don't know who has killed Annie, but I promise you I will find out. We only had 13 days to share with our baby. And I promise you we will find out together who has done this.
Oh, Mary, it's only you.
Yes, it's me. Yes.
So do you.
She plays lovely, doesn't she?
She's beautiful. I mean, she plays beautifully. What is that song?
Oh, probably something she made up.
Made up? It's brilliant.
But would you like to dance with me?
Bravo, Sarah. You play beautifully.
Thank you, William. I'm honored. Oh, Aunt, that was splendid. Absolutely amazing. I love that second piece. What was it called? Well, actually, William, I'm feeling quite ill. Will you take me home?
All right. Well, let's get your shawl. Oh, no, none at all.
What's wrong, William? You seem distracted. Have I done something causing an accident?
No, Mary, you have done nothing.
Well, then what is it? You look like you've been tied your hair. That was driven from your Hampshire, in fact.
I wasn't aware my presence was so grotesque.
No. I'm only saying you look worn out. Not like yourself.
I don't feel like myself either, I'm afraid.
Well, what is it then? Speak to me.
All right, but you must promise not to tell us so.
No. Now tell me.
All right. I think I'm in love.
Oh, William!
Mary, what are you doing? Sarah, I love Sarah.
Aunt Sarah? You're in love with my old Aunt Sarah?
She's now not that much older than yourself, only by 10 years, Mary.
But you were younger than her. It's not acceptable for a younger man to marry an older woman. Society will cast you out like urchins on the street.
Damn it, society. Can't you see that I'm really in love? The only thing that matters is the simple word love. So what if they cast Sarah and I out of society? Who needs them? We'll have each other. Though I will still have to find each other.
William, are you alright?
Sarah! It's time!
What? How do you know?
I don't, I just do.
William, no. He'll be alright. The doctor said you could still yet recover. We'll get through this. Please, William. I can't go on without you.
You're strong. You'll persevere.
Oh, William, don't say that. We will make it through together.
Listen to me, Sarah, and listen good. Are you listening to me? You must go west and find that house. And you must build on this house. You must build and never stop. Do you hear me? Build and never stop.
But, William, why must I move west?
I know not these things I say, but I feel it. Go west. Find that house.
But how will I know which house it is?
I trust you. Trust in yourself.
William, you're talking crazy. What is going